It was just on sunrise that this big herd of giraffe started bleeding across this open grassland. What first caught my attention was the male following this one female, really courting her, mirroring her movements. He paralleled her every step that she took and almost isolated her from the rest. All part of the courting process. That couple continued moving along the grassland with their own agenda. The rest of the herd were clearly focused on one particular little shrub that had been pushed out by the recent rains that we've had. That area is nice and waterlogged and soft. I wonder what is in that plant that makes it that tasty or that sought after, that giraffe are prepared to buckle over, put themselves in that vulnerable position that they do when they drink. You can see when they put their necks right down and their heads to the ground, as soon as they've got what they're after, their necks almost voluntarily spring up. It was a great morning watching the peculiarity of this particular herd and their activities for the morning.
We came across quite an unusual sighting, a long-billed crombec on its nest. Crombecs are fairly common in this type of acacia scrub, but to find one on its nest, we were extremely lucky. The nests are purse-shaped and hang no more than a meter or so above the ground. They are woven from spiders' webs and old leaf material. We were quite sure the crombec had young buried deep down in the base of her nest, as it left periodically, returning with what looked like an insect to feed her offspring. She would sit on her nest and snuggle down and get comfortable, sheltering and covering them from the cold wind. After about half an hour, we decided to leave her, hoping that when we returned in a few days, there would be hungry chicks stretching up their necks to greet their parents.
Now this tiny shrimp, which I was later to find out is actually a bumblebee shrimp, is perhaps only the size of the nail on my baby finger. Often shrimp are quite inactive or just be tending to sit tight, but this tiny shrimp was actually moving around a fair bit and tended to prefer the bottom of the blade. I presume this has something to do with the water movement at the top of the blade. I assume that he's a grazer and he'll be eating a lot of algae that you find along here. Every now and again, a little blast of water would unsettle him and he'd end up getting blown away. Perhaps a reason why he tends to prefer the bottom of the seagrass. Gary's gotten hold of the end of a piece of seagrass and it's really getting thrown around quite a bit by the current, which is finally beginning to subside a bit, much to my relief.
It's always an early start here for us every morning on the top of the world in Lesotho as we look down onto South Africa from these splendid Drakensberg Maluti mountains. A fresh breeze was blowing up towards us, the clouds never staying the same. Every day is a surprise. Sometimes it's totally clear, and others the sun is hidden behind clouds, which blankets out the view. The mornings and this time of the morning are unbelievable here. And we usually get up at about 3:30 as we're so high up here, we see the sun earlier. And we just sit here and absorb the beauty all around us. This place is so unpredictable though. It can all start out with what looks like a perfect day. Then that golden light and sun can quickly be covered up and the landscape is shadowed by cloud and mist once more. As the sun appeared from behind the clouds, the whole landscape lit up and a million colors appeared in front of us. And as the sun set, these beautiful golden shimmering reflections were caught in the pools in front of us. We try to absorb all of this, but it's impossible, as this place changes all the time and it's far too big to take in at one glance.